I have an update, a sequel, if you will, to the epic struggle between me and some junkie that I saw at BP once. I haven't seen the first one, but I need to update you on it because someone in my company just came up to me and said, hey, there's this email from this guy that it's not the most coherent email that we've ever received, but I think that the gist of the lines were, and I haven't actually seen this email, so I can't confirm what was being said. Nonetheless, I'm going to say it anyway, precisely because of the point that he thinks he's trying to make, which if you just allow me to explain it, I'll get back to that. Shut the fuck up. Go with me on this one. He says something along the lines of, apparently, you fucking cunt, I'm not a fucking junkie, I'm a fucking lawyer, and you don't fucking take that down, I'm going to sue your ass. And it's like, okay, well, I don't think that lawyers write letters like that. And, and the only thing that I can't defame you, you idiot, because I haven't given you your... I literally can't defame you. I don't know your name. You're making the situation worse for yourself. There wouldn't be a number 2 to this video if you were able to just shut your goddamn mouth, which is very unfortunate because I think that it's about as open as your fucking veins are. Like, this man is proving that he's on wacky tobacco, but for the old bloodstream, eh? Don't you, like, there's no way. And then, the first thing I just need to explain is, look, as we all know, you could pretty much prove that anything in this country is defamatory, but you at least have to name the person. So no way that guy is a lawyer, if indeed this was the actual email that was being sent. And you know why I feel so confident about saying that without releasing it? Because again, you cannot be defamed for that. I don't know how Friendly Geordie's got snuck into the Jordan Shanks channel. We'll try and keep that to a bare minimum and just keep saying over and over again how good goal setting is, and then you can go, oh yeah, definitely, and then not do it. And then the other one that I received, and I think it's the same person because it was just written in the same kind of deranged way, but first off, it was something along the lines of, you fucking cunt, I fucking know that junkie that you were talking about. I mean, he's not a junkie, he's a law-abiding citizen, okay? And if you want to know more about him, just contact this email back. Cheers. Started off extremely aggressive and then kind of petered out and became more and more happy. I think it was, something was kicking in almost. And so then I did what any normal human being would do, which was, dear blank, go on. And then he sent me this long email. And now, again, I'm not going to actually read any of it out because I don't want there to be any legal implications to this whatsoever. But the general gist of it was, I'm this junkie's friend, and yet I know about what happened in the gas station with quite good, vivid detail. Now, you could get that from being the friend, sure, but it does seem like if the original person was pretending that they're a lawyer or what, why wouldn't they just pretend to be the other person's friend when it's written down and you can't actually see in front of you, oh, okay, this isn't the Olsen twins playing a little neat trick here. No, this is 2 different people. But let's just assume that it was 2 different people. It did have a very similar writing pattern to the other one because, again, it started out just like, oh, fucking, how dare you? He was trying to stick up for something, justice that he saw, and he was scared about it. He wasn't high, he was scared, cunt. A lot of that. And then wavering out of that into, I'm just going to bitch out, I'm not actually going to do anything, but you're the real fucking bitch here, cunt, and I'm sorry to waste your time, just have a good life, alright, mate? If you fucking ever cross paths with me, I'll fucking deck you dog. It was like, just kept moving in and out of different emotions and modes, which is something that I've noticed about being around junkies, not extensively, but I have been around them to a certain point, and I must say, they are able to shift gears like the Stig in Top Gun. Wouldn't you agree? Do you agree or not? If you agree, like the video so I can find out how many people do agree with me. Oh, and you're going to have to subscribe just as a polling reason. And that's what's happening there. their mind is moving in and out of these emotions extremely quickly, kind of like somebody with borderline personality disorder. So there you go, kids. If you want to know what it's like to be Amber Heard, take the Amber Heard experience. That's pretty much what I think it is. I think taking those hard drugs just gives you personality defects and disorders, if you're lucky. Because this is the other thing. The guy that I saw was probably about my age. And I have to withdraw things that I've said about drugs in the past on this very channel. Well, how classy did it just get then? Somebody just say French? No, because that's not French. Maybe it is. Who knows? But I'm not on drugs. And stop saying that I am. It's very offensive to me in the comments. People always be like, what's the smokiest tobacco that you smoking? You smoke it too. Blah, 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 blah. You smoke it anyway, mate. Don't worry about that. But what do you think about it? What do you think? Don't you think, and let me know in the comments if I'm right about this, okay? But I think, from my personal experience of having a bunch of friends that are of the drug-using class, right? So most of the ones, this is the thing that's really brutal. It's actually what Jordan Peterson talks about when he says luxury beliefs. I think that's what's happening here. This is another one. If you're rich and you have drugs, sky's the limit. You can take as many as you want. All that's going to happen is you're eventually going to get to a point where you're called on the cops and they'll be like, oh no, I have to be kicked out of this house that I didn't own in the first place and go back and live in my cavernous mansion with my mum, where I get all of my whims taken to the point that I can just call her up on the phone and say, give me a porter, you stupid bitch, even though I'm in the same house. But it's that big that's a more effective way of communicating than just yelling from your door. That's what happens to you if you are rich and you take drugs. If you are poor and you take drugs, you end up like my other friends that the other day, one of them came wandering to my house, and this wasn't while I was there, by the way. I was away, and my dad was staying over, and he used to, he knew this kid, right? Like, he knew him well back in the day. Anyway, he says, hey, is Jordan home? And he goes, no. Are you okay? And he had this vacant, zombie-like stare off into the distance. And he said, yeah, just ground up one of these flowers. I can't remember what it was. I think it was that flower in Vice even that makes you a zombie. The irony. And I think after that, and there was conflicting stories about this. I don't know what happened to him after that, but like he came in zombified like that. My dad knew about it and was just like, dude, you could have fucking died. And then he said, I think a part of me did. And that's what scares me about drugs, kids. That's why I honestly do think that. I know that I always get hammered on friendly Geordies when I'm always just being like, winners, don't use drugs. And then you have a bunch of druggos saying, oh, I take it all the time and I'm fucking functional as fuck. But you can always tell from their comments that they aren't. They're lying to themselves. In fact, I don't even know if they're lying to themselves at this point. It's also the same feeling you get when you go up to the Blue Mountains. You'd know about this, Western Australia, wouldn't you? Blue Mountains reference. Ha ha ha, Katoomba. Yeah, that's close to Bunbury. And they go to these places, you walk around, and there's all these people with these vacant stairs. And I always thought, oh, it must be the mountain air. No, it's the mountain air that helps in growing shrooms. That's what's helping there. So, what I'm saying is, look, taking shrooms once in a while in your life, fine. Absolutely fine. And you should trust my opinion on that because I'm clearly a doctor. I do understand that when people say it opens up and expands your mind. Yeah, okay. But I think that's like not even a sometimes food. Yeah. I think that you should probably treat it as going to a Michelin star restaurant, unless you are one of those rich kids that I was just talking about, and then you were saying like, oh, I feel like Mr. Chow's tonight, Mum, you cunt. And you have it all the time then. But to the average person, even the ones that are mind expanding, and there is some merit to them because you can kind of just like, whoa, reality isn't what I thought it was, man. That, come on, the people that are into it abuse it. Now, the only reason I am saying this is because I care about you, okay? I care about you so much. That's why you should give me money because, well, you give your mum money, wouldn't you? And she cares about you half as much as I do. But that's what I think. Now that I've seen what has happened to these people, even the rich ones, this is what I truly believe about drugs when I see it. Wasted potential. Wasted potential. I went to a school with creative kids. A lot of them were really, really, really talented. Much more talented than I was. But they have no work ethic now. They have scattered minds. They can't work. That's the scary part. It's like eventually it starts moving your brain into a territory that is just out of this realm. You can't focus on anything anymore. It gives you the illusion. There's that nice little... I will give druggos this. There is this nice, safe middle ground area that they do get to where in between being sane and insane, there's just this nice little 2-year layer where they are, unbelievably funny. Everything they say is just, you're sitting there in this one-man comedy show as they just roll out with gag after gag and all of them hit. It's incredible. But then after that, it starts going out into the other realm. And you know why that is, by the way, just as a little tip, just a little trick of the trade. Jokes exist in, as Freud was talking about, the dream state. They're very close to a dream. And I think that that's what's happening, is the more drugs that you take, the more you are just going off into la-la land. And guys, if you are older, let me know. I think I'm right about this. Like, how many heavy drug users do you know that come out the other side unscathed? That's what I'm very, very scared about, just with all of these other things, just like TikTok and all of these other distractions. The reason that I'm talking about it isn't really just because of this, you could become a bum and you could blah, blah, blah. It's not even that. It's honestly, as I talk about on this channel a lot, opportunity cost. It's not how bad your life gets, but the fact that your life could have been here. And if your life was here, it would be much more likely that you would have been contributing to society. And that is the greatest drug of all. Instead, you have the guy, like I saw at the BP, just be like, you fucking racist, fucking cunt. And all you have to say to him is, you're a meth head. And he's just like, oh fuck, oh no, I shat myself, runs home and then pretends to be two people, allegedly. I'm not really sure if he did, but I'm just going to go with that narrative because there's no way I can be sued by this cooked cunt. But look, you are a fucking junkie. Fuck you, whoever you are. You're very rude. But this is the whole thing, right? Like, look, if he wasn't, don't you think that he'd be able to come up with a better response than something that you tried when you were 15 of like, oh, my dad's a lawyer. And then the fucking manager of the place that you're getting kicked out of was just like, yeah, that's awesome. Give me back the chocolate bar that's in your pants. That's all I'm saying. If you are on drugs, first off, boo! But second, and don't write in the comments now, if you are on drugs and that happened, write down that you're just like, oh, it's like he's specifically talking to me. And I am specifically talking to you. Get the fuck off it. Come on. Like, look, the reason that you are on it, let's be honest about it. The reason that you are on it is one reason and one reason only. Because you want to escape reality. Except for, I think, Keith Moon or whatever the fuck said, like, once it was just like, reality is for those that can't handle their drugs. Look, yeah, okay, maybe you feel like some spoiled rock star and it kind of helps you. But again, like, look at them all. They sound like shit now, don't they? All the fucking rock stars that just did endless amounts of cocaine and LSD. How good are they at guitar these days? When was the last time that they released a truly rocking album? Like, this is the whole thing about it. It expands your mind and then it just keeps expanding it. And it goes too far out of the realm of things. And then people are asking me all the time, can you do a video on creativity? I will say this. Drugs gives you the illusion that you are being creative. In fact, I will go further than that. It actually does make you more creative for a very, very small amount of time, but it is a cheat. Just like steroids is, just like all these other things are. It's a way that cheats, and then afterwards you have bad long-term effects, just like a steroids user does when they're, in the Tour de France or whatever. There's a lot of French references in this video. Happy about that. Touch of class. I think it's much needed on a channel that still, after years, is recorded on a laptop. And I really don't want to change it, even though I feel like that's happening now. But look, we'll talk about production quality later, okay? I want to talk to you about, if you are on it, just know this. The reason that you are doing it every time is that you want to escape reality, and eventually your wish does become fulfilled. The problem with life is that it is nothing but endless problems. It's not pleasant to face life head on. But just know, even the richest, most well-off amongst us have their problems. They have better quality problems, but they still just keep having problems for the rest of their life. Everybody does. Don't take the easy way out. The easy way out is a trap. If you actually face the problems that you have in life, if you figure out how to overcome them, every time you do that, you get a little bit smarter, a little bit sharper, you get a little more wily about how the world actually works, as opposed to just these ideas that you have in your head, these shadowy figures of just laziness, really. And then you actually put these ideas out into the world, and then you get pushed back, and then you think, oh, okay, let's just try it this way. And then you actually figure out the real world. You get street smarts. But if you take drugs, all that happens a lot of the time is you become more and more insular. Even if you don't become more and more socially insular, which you do most of the time when you do become a druggo. The other thing that actually starts happening is you start inventing your own reality in your head, and eventually you cannot escape it. I used to think that, okay, look, the worst part about drug taking, and I still do think this, that it is the opportunity cost thing, that it's mostly 10 years that you could have been crisp and you could have been facing the world, as unpleasant as it is. That 10 years is gone, and it is replaced with nothing. So while everyone else is going up, you're doing nothing. But then the thing that I think now, the older that I get, and I actually say it, because I used to think, oh, okay, all they've done is just waste 10 years of their life. But now that I hang around these people more, I realise there's a very common thread with all of them. They're insane. They have all become insane. So, make sure that you don't. I truly believe it. I think you should get a lot of... I think that a lot of the time when you are, as I've said before on this channel, when you are addicted to something, it's not necessarily that you are addicted to it, it's just that it's a habit. You can change that habit. And also on top of this, if you have something that's more exciting and compelling for you to do than the drug, you are going to do the thing that is more exciting and compelling. All right, so just theoretically, answer me this. If you got to spend a wild weekend with Chris Kenny from Sky News or take heroin, which one are you going to pick? I'm being serious. No, that's the greatest celebrity on earth, the bowling ball. Imagine if you played AMF bowling with the bowling ball. That would be a photo for the ages. But that's the whole thing, right? Like, I would much rather do that than take heroin. So you just get your own example of that. But I'm sure that there is something that you would prefer to be doing than the heroin. Now, I want you to think about what that is. And this just applies to people that aren't even on drugs. I just want you to think about something that you would ideally want to do in your life. Because people always say, I don't have goals. That's all a goal is. Something that you're like, oh, that'd be cool. It's just a moment. It's a moment in life. That's all. So have you got your moment in your head? Because I do think that if there is anything on earth that is more of a cure-all for most of the problems in the world, it's just having something in your head is like, that would be cool to do. Because then you start moving towards that. You start becoming the person that would allow you to be there. Anyway, if you like that advice, make sure that you sign up to Jordan Shanks, because if you don't sign up to Jordan Shanks, you are doing yourself a massive disservice. And come on, for the fuck's sake, Jesus. You potheads with your fucking $350 an ounce bloody a week problem. How much is Jordan Shanks? What? I'm not good at maths. Okay? The point is, get off the waggy tobacco. Get off the waggy tobacco. Give me like an absolute fraction of what that... isn't it like, Jesus Christ, I think it is, yeah, I think it's less than 1% of your ounce a week habit. There is nothing that you could spend that $2 on that will get you a higher return. I am telling you that now. Even if you bought a Bitcoin in the Obama administration, I'm telling you, Jordan Shanks is more valuable for you because it gives you a skill set that allows you to earn the Bitcoin in the first place, even as this is a pretty outdated reference. I really should have used that as a shout out many moons ago. But make sure that you sign up to Jordan Shanks regardless, and together we'll just tell you that you're shit over and over again and slightly rebuild you into the person that you want to be. And it works. Anyway, I'll see you next time. Thanks so much for your subscriptions and likes. And I'm clearly just covering for time because my MacBook Pro just went into screensaver mode. But now it's back. So I'm out.